The topic for today is genetically modified food, the benefits and the risks. Genetically modified foods are the latest contribution of genetic engineering technology. These food items are made by inserting genes of other species into their DNA. Although this kind of genetic modification is used both in plants and animals, it is found more commonly in the former than in the latter. There are a variety of reasons for developing such food products. For instance, some eatables are genetically modified to prevent the occurrence of allergies after consumption, while some are developed to improve their shelf life. The top 10 GM food available in the market include cotton, rice, soybean, potatoes, papaya, corn, tomatoes, peas, canola, and dairy products. Although developers and manufacturers make sure that there are various advantages of consuming these foods, fair bit of population is entirely against them. Before we decide whether genetically modified foods are panacea or poison, we should know what genetically modified foods are. Genetically modified foods, or GM food, are food produced from organisms that have changes introduced into their DNA using the method of genetic engineering. Genetic engineering techniques allow for introduction of new traits as well as great control over the traits than previous methods, such as selective breeding and mutation breeding. Genetic modified food can be also called genetic organism food, that is GMO. Genetically engineered food, transgenic food, and biotech food. For the above terms of GMO food, we can infer that GM food are produced from crops whose genetic makeup has been altered through a process called recombinant DNA to give a plant a desirable trait. Let's put it simple. You take genes from one species and force them into the DNA of other species and bring them to the dinner table. You may say, they look nicer, taste better, last longer. Why not? But there are controversies over the use of food and other goods derived from genetically modified crops instead of conventional crops, and the use of genetic engineering in the food production. This field involves consumers, farmers, biotechnology companies, governmental regulators, non-governmental organizations, and scientists. The key area of controversy related to GM food are whether such food should be labeled. The role of the government regulator, objectivity of scientific research and publication, the effect of genetically modified crops in the health and the environment, the effect on pesticide resistance, and the impact of such crops for farmers, and the role of crops in feeding the world population. The conflicts had continued since GM food were invented. They have occupied the media, courts, local, regional, and the national governments, and the international organizations. So I just wound up here. Thank you.